foreshadowing of their own.
Live, local, late breaking. This is News Watch 14 at 6.
Good evening, I'm David J.
And I'm...
It all begins at 5:30.
Live, local, late breaking. Tomorrow at sunrise with Dan Katz and Christy Bullard on News Watch 14, the Tri-State's news leader.
Live from the Tri-State's news leader, this is News Watch 14 at 6 with David James, Ann Comas, meteorologist Jeff Lyons, and Todd Richards, sports.
80 years in prison.
It's 48 degrees Fahrenheit, 11 p.m. This is WVUT-TV, a broadcasting service of Vincennes University. I'm John Windover, and this is the late edition for Tuesday, November 4th, 1986. The weather for tonight, rain most of the night with a low around 50. Tomorrow, cloudy and cool with a chance of rain, the high in the mid to upper 50s. In the news this evening, some major Republican victories in today's Knox County election. An Edwardsport woman was seriously injured in an armed robbery yesterday, and 2 people were injured in a traffic accident north of Vincennes this morning. Those and other stories coming up on the late edition. Republicans made some major gains in Knox County's election today, taking the 2 top.
WVUT Vincennes.
Good evening.
You're watching KSTP Channel 5. Now, with news that matters to you, this is Channel 5 Eyewitness News Midday.
Thank you for joining us this midday. I'm Callie King-Yanta.
I've done some fishing.
Governor Jesse Ventura picks a police chief to lead the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources. The appointee investigated a well-known Minnesota missing persons case. And an amphitheater is planned for this former farmland in the Twin Cities. Find out why a city near this site thinks the proposal will create problems. Plus, just ask this mail carrier. January in Minnesota means ice and snow. We go in-depth to beat the groundhog to the punch. See if a snowy January means anything for February's forecast.
You're watching KSTP Channel 5. Now, with news that matters to you, this is Channel 5 Eyewitness News at 6.
Governor Jesse Ventura had to navigate some rough water with his first pick to head the Department of Natural Resources. Alan Horner got away after some old fishing violations surfaced. And this morning, the governor reeled in Alan Garber. He's the big fish at the Champlain Park Police Department. But Garber admits he's not an avid sportsman.
Good evening, I'm Randy Meyer.
And I'm Colleen Needles. Thank you for joining us. Governor Ventura's...
The Metropolitan Airport Commission wants to change the way it does business with cab companies. We'll tell you what that means for you at the airport. Plus, new information about a weekend stabbing at the Mall of America. Find out how it happened, and if only. We'll take a look at what this day should have been like had the Vikings beaten the Falcons.
Live from KSTP Television, this is Channel 5 Eyewitness News at 6:30.
Hundreds of cabbies fight for your fare out at the airport every day.
Now, on WCCO 4 News, a child is seriously hurt, stabbed in his own home, and police are trying to piece together just what happened. We'll have a live report. Plus, hundreds of people are evacuated from their homes after a train containing alcohol derails. WCCO 4 News starts right now.
With clear, accurate coverage. This is WCCO 4 News, the hometown team.
Hello, I'm Dave Huddleston. In today for Bill Carlson.
And I'm Chris Grote, standing in for Mike Fairborn.
Now on WCCO 4 News, neighbors afraid of their neighbors. Why? Too many level 3 sex offenders moving in. Will your annual trip to a vehicle emissions test site be a thing of the past? WCCO 4 News starts right now.
With clear, accurate coverage. This is WCCO 4 News, the hometown team.
Hello, I'm Amelia Santinello.
And I'm Don Shelby. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Great, by the name of Walter Payton.
You're watching the Twin Cities top-rated newscast, WCCO 4 News, the hometown team.
Now, Don Shelby, Amelia Santinello, weather with Paul Douglas, and Mark Rosen on sports. You're watching WCCO 4 News, the hometown team.
We've heard volumes about Y2K in the year 2000.
I'm Jeff Passold. Straight ahead, license tab fees. No one likes to pay them, but just how much should they go down? Also, they'd still have nap time, but kindergartners could be going to school full time. And tonight's inquiry, why exercising too much can be bad for your bod. Minnesota 9 News starts right now.
First on 9, here's a no-brainer for you. Would you like to pay less for your license tabs? Well, we're still miles away from a decision, but reducing the cost of license tabs could be a reality.
In a half day, you're so limited by what you need to get in for.
Coming up in sports, from St. Paul to Hastings to New Hope. The state's top football players sign national tenders. We'll have the story. Plus, it's not just signing day for football stars. Check it out. And the Gopher basketball team needs more than Quincy to win tonight. Stay tuned for sports.
With Paul Majors, Pat Miles, Ken Barlow, and Randy Shaver, you're watching Carrie Levin News at 6.
This is a Fox News special presentation.
In the news, President Reagan will run for re-election. Maybe. Mr. Reagan signed papers this week that officially make him a candidate, but give him the chance to change his mind. We'll be back with the 1984 presidential campaign in the news. And Campaign 84 in the news.
Good evening. I'm Bill Butel, ABC News, New York. Tonight in Moscow, President Nixon has gone on Soviet television to talk to the Russian people. In Los Angeles, Senators McGovern and Humphrey have begun their television debates. In Khartoum, North Vietnamese artillery have reached the main street of that major city in the Central Highlands. And in Paris, the Duke of Windsor, the man who would not be king, has died. I'll have the details in just a moment.
The ABC Weekend News with Bill Butel is brought to you by Dial Antiperspirant, the antiperspirant with a special time-release formula to help keep you fresh and dry.
Where the news comes first, 24 hours a day. This is Oklahoma's News Channel 4.
The men and women of the jury. Tomorrow morning, they make their way toward a life or death decision. There's nothing more. Okay.
This is Arkansas's 24-hour news and weather channel. Live on News 4 at 6. Now, this is News 4.
40 years ago today.
To the little.
From KXTV 10, this is News 10 at 11.
We can't get down Frenchtown Dobbins. It's coming across Frenchtown Dobbins.
You're watching Channel 13 WTHR, Indianapolis. Live from Indiana's News Channel, Tom Cochran, Ann Ryder, Bob Gregory's AccuWeather forecast, and sports with Dave Calabro. This is News Channel 13 Tonight.
There is a new school of thought.
How are little people doing today?
Central Indiana's #1 primetime newscast. Fox 59 News at 10.
Bring on the Bulls, or anyone else for that matter. Good evening.
You're watching the one and only Wish TV. Now, News 8 gets you closer. Now, on News 4 New England.
Serious cuts from Massachusetts razor maker Gillette. Thousands of workers to be laid off. George washes ashore down south. Wait until you see how much rain is falling. The subject of this ad is sex. Will teenagers get the message? Focus 4, the other option for women looking to improve their figure. Tonight, breast implants are back.
Working for you. This is News 4 New England.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Liz Walker. Joe Shortsleeve is off tonight. Right now, we have new information.
You're watching News Center 5 tonight. New England's #1 late news with Chet Curtis, Natalie Jacobson, meteorologist Dick Albert, and Mike Lynch on sports. Now, News Center 5 continues.
Water, winds, and washed-up roads are all
charged in one of the most disturbing crimes of recent memory. The second suspect in the Jeffrey Curley murder case prepares for trial, and new rules for anybody who wants to buy a gun.
Live from WHDH-TV Boston, this is 7 News at 11 on the news station.
Good evening again. Kate's not feeling well tonight. I'm Craig Stevens. It was another magic moment.
7 News is New England's most watched late newscast. The night team brings you hard-hitting, innovative news coverage. Your #1 news choice at 11. The news station. 7 News.
This is the break.
Tonight, police say he raped a 13-year-old Newton girl at Knife Point. Now the search is on for the suspect. Will the Patriots' move to Hartford be blocked by a lawsuit? Forget snow. New Englanders are hitting the beach. But are temperatures about to take a plunge? Who gets a better night's sleep, men or women, and why? This is Fox 25 News at 10.
A brutal attack in Newton, a teenage girl raped at Knife Point. Good evening.
Everyone so lucky here. Several are dead following last night's strong string of southern storms.
And a WB56 home run. You're tuned in to the new home of the Boston Red Sox. The 10 o'clock news begins right now.
Now, Boston's 10 p.m. news leader. This is the 10 o'clock news on WB56.
I think some of the people here today were a little taken aback, but
as the 10 o'clock news continues.
Karen Marinella, Jeff Bard, Mike Wonkum, Frank Malakote. You're watching Boston's 10 p.m. news leader, the 10 o'clock news on WB56.
You're going to need a good meal.
a full dinner.
You're watching Chronicle with Peter Mahegan, Mary Richardson, Liz Bruner, Ted Reinstein, and Mike Barnacle. Chronicle, New England's nightly news magazine.
This is the time of year when New Englanders spend more time than you.
Now, from Jackson's Emmy Award-winning station, this is 16 WAPT News at 10.
Hello, everybody. I'm Gene Edwards.
And I'm Katina Rankin. Our lead.
You're watching Gene Edwards, Katina Rankin, Sports Director Rick Whitlow, and meteorologist David Hartman. Next Rad 16 Doppler weather on 16 WAPT News.
We're working a breaking news story this